So good morning, coaches. Today is Tuesday, August the 4th. And I can't believe it. Can you hear me, Jessica? No? Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I didn't mute myself. I'm going to turn up my volume as high as it goes. Is that better? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay, can everybody else hear me? Yes? Okay. All right, so today is August the 4th, and as we enter into a brand new month, you guys, what we need to do is look at how we did the previous month and ask ourselves what we did to create the success that we had last month and try and duplicate that again this month, okay? So that is a huge tip of mine, because sometimes as we go into the new month, we start thinking, you know, I want to try and do some new things, which is great. We want to get those creative juices flowing. But sometimes as we might grab onto new things, or maybe we see something else that a different coach is doing that is making them successful, when we try and apply it, it doesn't always work because it doesn't meet our own personality. And so one thing that's really important is just to remember what you have done to be successful and to do those things over and over again. And over time, you'll just keep, you know, that momentum and building. If you had a month that was maybe a bit of a struggle for you, try and look at the things that you can maybe improve on. Do you need more personal, development? Do you need to post more often? Do you need to look at the type of post that you're doing? Are you adding value in your post where people are wanting to come to you every day to see what you have to say? So just start evaluating yourself. It's all a learning process, you guys. I have been a coach for a little over a year, and I'm still learning. So it's never something that you're going to be, like perfect at. But you do develop those skills, and you just build on them every single month, and you will find that you will get better and better as you continue to do those same vital behaviors every day. So I want to say how proud I am of you guys. You're showing up, you're posting on your news feed, you're doing your fitness, you're getting your shake in, and you're posting about it, and people are seeing it. And so congratulations to all of you guys, because you're being rockstar coaches right now, and you're going to attract those people that want to join you. So give yourself a pat on the back, because you guys are seriously all doing a really, really good job. Okay, so before I get started on the top tips that I have for you guys on running a Rockstar team, I want to do a couple of shout outs to some girls that are kicking booty right now. Okay, so Christina Hill, as you guys know, she is in Florida right now, so I don't know if she's going to be joining us, but she'll probably watch this later. But I literally, like, my mouth just dropped right now when I went into the back office, because she has 780 personal wholesale volume right now, which basically contributes to her helping bring on challengers. So she's doing really, really well this past week. Also want to give a huge shout out to Lori Post, who has 450 personal wholesale volume. Congratulations, Lori. Chazelle, you have 320, it looks like. Let's see. Also, Comey has 390. Faith has 353. And I think my husband also had, let's see. Oh yeah, my husband has 435. So you guys are all doing an amazing job. Just keep up all the hard work that you're putting in, and it seriously is going to pay off, you guys. Sometimes it doesn't pay off, the very same day, but people are watching you, and so just keep doing those vital behaviors, and you guys will have success. Okay, so get your pen and paper ready because these tips are going to help you as you bring on coaches to your team. We want to make sure that we're getting them started right so that they can duplicate the same success that we have and not get frustrated and want to walk away after a couple days. So, which we all know frustration can set in, and you can let that fester, and it can make it so you want to walk away. But if you have the right tools and you're using them every day as a coach, you will have success. So we just want to make sure that we set up our coaches with the same success that we have learned as we've gotten going on our own coaching journey. So, okay, tip number one, as you sell a challenge pack, and let's say you bring in somebody with a coaching opportunity at the same time. So you've signed up a coach, and then you're like, now what do I do with them? The very, very first thing that you should do is send them a welcome email. And you guys will send them the same exact welcome email that I sent to you. Now, what I'm going to do after this meeting is I'm going to put all these tips into a file on our team page so you guys will be able to grab all this stuff, like the welcome email and all that, so you don't have to go and search for it. So I'm going to make that easy for you guys so you can start using that. But for right now, until I actually go in and type it all, just go ahead and use the same welcome email. And it's very important that inside that email, you're asking them what type of coach that they want to be. That is going to determine what type of mentoring that you are going to give to them. So if they come back to you and let's say they want to be just a discount coach, in your mind, you can tell yourself, okay, they just want the discount, so I don't need to spend any time with them training them on how to be a coach because they're not interested at that point. If they say anything above that, whether it's making up, the cost of their Shakeology, if they want part-time income, full-time income, they want to get like six-figure income, then you need to set them up with a getting started right call, which I do them on Zoom because I personally like to see a person's face. I like to see their body language. I like to see in their eyes if they get a question, like if I'm talking to them and they're like, what? So I like to be able to see that. But you can do it on the phone, just try and not do it on text or email because you need to hear at least their voice. You want to be able to connect with them. So make sure that you're setting up those getting started right calls. And on those calls, what you're going to do, and I do have an example that I will post. It's actually the sample that I did. I recorded Giselle and I are getting started right call. So I will post that so you can kind of get an example of how I do mine. And you'll probably remember, oh yeah, I remember when Heather did mine and she said that, and it's the same thing. And so I try and like do them all the same format so that I don't have to recreate something every time, I'm getting on the phone with somebody. So I'll definitely post that inside the file that I'm going to create for you guys so you can know how to do the getting started right calls. Another thing that is very important is to lead by example. So you want to show up every single day and practice what you preach. So if you're telling somebody you need to do the 3 vital behaviors, girlfriend, and you're not doing them, then they're going to be like, well, Faith's not doing them, so why should I do them, or Lori's not doing them, why should I do them? So it's really important that as you train people that you're also leading by example. So if we tell them you need to hit Success Club 5, then that means we need to hit Success Club 5 minimum every single month, okay? If we want our coaches to shoot for SC10, then we need to be hitting SC10. So we need to lead by example, and they will always follow the leader, and if they see you hitting really high numbers, they're going to shoot for those high numbers. If they see you bringing on a lot of coaches, they're going to try and bring on coaches too. So just remember that they will look to you for how they should run their business. So it's really important that you shoot for your highest, you do your best, because you want rockstar coaches on your team, because that's how you build your business and your finances, and it all just kind of comes together. So of course you're going to be drinking your shake every day, so they know they should drink their shake every day. You know, you're going to be working out, so they know to work out every day, and you just want to make it duplicatable for them, so that they don't have to worry about, like, what am I supposed to be doing? Okay, the next big thing is you want to be approachable. You want to be authentic. So this is something, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, this really speaks to me, because in the beginning of being a leader, I have compared myself to other leaders, and you can probably guess their names. Don't want to say them since this is being recorded, but I have definitely compared myself to other people above me, and want to be doing as well as them, want, you know, this big, huge team and all that kind of stuff. But then I have to remember that they started at the same exact place that I am right now. And they're starting at the same exact place that you are right now. And so how fast you go out the gate and how fast you build your team, it's different for everybody. It really is. So we really have to try and not play the comparison game. And we want to not act like a leader that we're not yet, because if you're pretending to be something that you're not, like if you're trying to be like this perfect leader, you know, I always show up for my team, I never screw up, I never say the wrong thing, you know, I always I always get my workout in every day, I'm always on plan, you know, with my food. I mean, if that's the type of perception that you want other people to see of you, and they aren't like that, they're gonna walk away, okay? That's the same thing with our challengers and coaches. So we wanna make sure that we're totally being honest with people, we're being real. You know, we can act in our mindset like we're gonna be diamond one day and run our business like we're diamond right now. That's fine, okay? We just want to make sure that we're not acting like we never mess up, but here we are over here totally screwing up, you know? So that's why I am very, very real and raw when I mess up on my meal plan. Like online, I'm posting inside my groups. And I even say stuff like, oh crap, I ate a cookie. I mean, I'm just like, and I'm upset about it, because I know that if I eat sugar, it gets in my system and then it wants more, you know, and I just know that about myself. And I know everyone's nodding. So I know, I know most of us are like that, you know, and so sharing stuff like that makes us more authentic and real, and we don't come off as like this robot person, you know, that people aren't going to relate to. So I just want to share that with you guys as you're running and you're starting to be a leader and you're bringing on coaches. Be honest with them and say, hey, I don't have it all together all the time. I don't always do my personal development, but I find when I don't, my mood is horrible. I'm not as, you know, fired up to do my workout. So you share stuff like that with them. And then you share the times when you do read your personal development and you are fired up, so that they see you on this journey, and it's going to be, you know, something easier for them to feel like they can copy. Okay, another thing that is huge is you want to be positive with coaches instead of being negative. So, for instance, when you look, as you start to bring on, you know, team members, and you start to go into your back office and you start to track how they're doing, and you can see, you know, team volume, you can see if they've purchased their Shakeology for the month, you can like see basically everything. You can see if they're not posting on their page, all this stuff. Okay, so if you're a leader and you are seeing one of your coaches struggle, is it better for you to say to them, I'll just use Chazelle as an example. Chazelle, I don't see you posting today. You know you're not going to get any business if you don't post. I mean, if you talk to people like that, like, how is that going to, Giselle's crying. So, like, how is that going to come across? You guys, that is not going to make people want to work their business, okay? How we need to talk to people is we need to ask them, what can we do? So you're a team. What can we do to help you achieve your goal of hitting Success Club 5? What can we do to help you hit Emerald rank? So you want to support and encourage. You want to make sure that you're always letting them know that we are a team. We're doing this together. You're not, pointing negative fingers at them. You're not comparing them to other coaches who might be doing it right. Same thing with like our kids, right? Like if you have more than one kid and one kid's messing up and the other one's not, you're not going to be like, why don't you do it like Johnny does? I mean, that makes that other kid feel so bad, So you always want to make sure you're loving on your coaches, you're loving them equally, you're, letting them know that you guys are a team, and instead of saying anything negative, you can help them by looking back on what maybe they did the previous month and see what you guys could do as a team to get better, at being a coach. And so you always want to have that like mindset of turning what might be considered a failure into success. So if there's a major fail, look at ways that you can help your coaches to see how they could turn that into success. So I'm going to give you guys an example, and I learned this from Anita. I actually used this tactic with Jessica last month, actually. She was really bummed that she didn't hit Success Club. And so what I did and what Anita has done is point to the positive in that. And so what I shared with Jessica is, hey, it's okay. That just means that you, have planted more seeds so that those are going to turn into business for, the following month. And it's true. She's already at SC4. And it's like only a couple days into the month. So it's true. It happens. So anything that you guys might see as like a possible failure in your business or a failure in, just you being an individual, try and see how you could turn that into success. Always have that positive mindset and that mindset of turning it around and looking for the good in everything. The next step I have for you guys is you want to help your coaches understand how to work the business. You want to show your new coaches what you do each day. And again, you want to make it so that they can duplicate it. I actually have a welcome video that I send to new coaches. You guys, I recommend you do one. You might want to do a couple of takes, doing it just to make sure that, you like how it sounds. But people like to see us and they like to hear our voice and they want to hear our encouragement. And so it's really nice when you send out that welcome to the team email if you also have just a little video of you like sharing, hey, welcome to the team. So glad you're here. We're going to work together. Here's, my role as your coach, and those kind of things. And you can copy mine, if you want, just write it down and then record it yourself. So that's totally fine if you don't want to come up with your own stuff. But it's really nice for them to feel like that they have something easy for them to copy and do. And you also want to make your life and business look simple. And that leads us into time management, which, by the way, I'm still working at. So I see some of you guys going out of the house and doing things with your family. I'm telling you right now, I need to do more of that. I'm like sometimes I get really laser focused on my business goals, and I'm so excited to talk to people and help new people. And my family's over here like, can we go to the park? And I'm like, I'm almost done. And then like 2 hours later, right? So personally, I need to get better at time management. So if you guys have this down, I like applaud you, seriously. But time management is a really, really good thing. You want to make sure that you're not working 60 hours a week because your coaches are not going to want to work 60 hours a week. So we want to make sure that we are showing a lifestyle. And so we want to make sure that we set up times for us to work. As an example, I'll just give you guys a rundown of my personal day, and this is how I try and make my time management work for me. It's Teen Cup month this month, so this is not going to be how I'm running it this month because we're pushing ourselves more. But on a normal day, I get up in the morning and I get dressed like this. I have my workout clothes on because I always work out after breakfast. But I will go to my computer and I will log in to the challenge groups. So I always focus on my challenge groups in the morning. I'll post inside there, whatever I'm going to post for the day, video, the daily post, whatever. So that's something I always do in the morning. And then I will eat breakfast. So then I'm focusing on me after I check in with the challengers. So I'll go eat breakfast, visit with the kids. I'll do my workout, shower, get ready, for the day. So I'm basically taking like a couple of hours to work on myself and make sure that I'm taking that time. And a lot of times I'll do my personal development during that time as well. And then after I'm all done, I made my shake and all that good stuff, then I'll come back down and I will hit at my next post for the day. So generally, I'll post a motivational post in the morning. Then I'll get to my challenge groups. Then when I come back, I will post what workout that I just did on my personal page. And then after that, I'm basically going in and following up with people. So whoever I've sent messages to, that's when I'm doing my follow-up. So I'll spend like an hour or so doing that. And then I'll sometimes post in the exchange groups, just to try and get some new people. And then basically I'm posting a question midday on my personal page and spending more time, with family. And then in the evenings, I will get back to more people. So I'm doing more follow-ups. Now, right now, because it's Teen Cup and we're doing private messaging, how I'm actually fitting that in is mid-afternoon. So after I drink my shake, and that's around the time when I'm starting to do the private messages. So I'm putting off my follow-ups until the evening, which so far it seems to be working out okay because it seems like more people are online at night anyways, and they're available. So when you respond back to them, they tend to get back with you right away. So that's kind of how I've been running my day. So, altogether I'm probably spending 5 or 6 hours a day, I want to say, on my business. And then I'm kind of doing it in between, other things. So that's kind of how I work my business. So, set up your own time management, look at your own schedule, see what you guys have to do with your kids, with your family, cooking dinner, all that kind of stuff, and lay out a plan on when you're going to do your challenge group posts, when you're going to check in with your coaches, and that kind of thing. Because if you have that set up and then you share that with your coaches and you tell them, okay, I'm available to you, but I might not get back to you right away. Here's the time frame that I normally get back to my coaches. For me, I normally try and do that in the afternoon sometime. And so you want to share what your time is going to be with your coaches so they know you're not ignoring them. You're just not at that time frame where you get back with them. And that'll actually help them to set up their time management too. All right, next tip. You want to be up to date on coach news and updates inside our team page. That way you could share all of that information with your coaches. And again, coach news is in your back office. You just have to log in and it's all on the top right-hand side. You also want to look to who needs one-on-one time. So if you see somebody on your team that's struggling, you're going to want to give them a little more time and support. And you're going to want to build that into your time management. So for me personally, when someone needs some extra support, I will do a Zoom call with them. And I always do my Zoom calls with coaches at 9 in the morning. That just works for me. And so when I'm doing my Getting Started Right calls, I have set up those at 9 o'clock in the morning on days when we don't have our meeting or when we don't have something else, going on. So that tends to work for me. So if you need to do a one-on-one, make sure that you're fitting it into the time that you have set up for that. Okay, and you want to set up business hours, like I just mentioned, with coaches for them to get in touch with you. You can let them know that you're available through phone, messenger. You basically just want to let them know how they can get in touch with you, and then ask them what their preferred way of contact is. Some people like the phone. You know, some people are still old school and they like to hear people on the phone. Some people hate the phone and they like text. So you want to make sure that you're asking them, how do you prefer that I communicate with you? And you want to ask each coach this, because each person's personality is different. So once you're asking, then I definitely recommend that you're keeping some sort of a folder with all your coaches' information in it, with their address, phone number, you know, their goals that you're going to go over with them on their Getting Started Right call, how they like to be talked with, and that kind of stuff. So that you can flip back and, okay, how does Heather like to be communicated with? Okay, she likes phone. I need to set up a time to call her. So you want to make sure that you have those individual papers on your coaches so that you know how to talk with them. Okay, and my last tip is you want to relate and connect with your coaches. So again, be approachable. Do not act like you're above them, ever, because we're not. None of us are above each other. We're all equal. Let them know that you're here for them as their friend. You want to make sure that they know that you want to stay connected with them. So you want to, you know, keep in touch with how their family's doing, how their kids are doing. You want to recognize them for the things that they're doing well. You could recognize them on our team page by doing like a pick monkey. So if they maybe sold their first challenge pack, or they hit, you know, emerald rank, you see them working really hard on applying the vital behaviors. You know, you can basically recognize your coaches however you want to, but recognition is really, really huge. We all love to feel good. We all love that extra encouragement. It just pumps us up, you know, and it keeps us wanting to go forward and wanting to move forward. And so if we're doing that with our coaches, I guarantee that it's going to encourage them to produce, oops, sorry, heads off. It's going to encourage them to keep going in the business, to do their best, because it feels good when they get rewarded, you know, for it. And so just keep that in mind. You guys can do any types of reward system that you want. You can give, you know, note cards, send them in the mail, telling them how good of a job that they're doing. You could, you know, again, notify them on your team or our team page on your personal wall, and you can tag them. So it goes onto their page so that their friends are seeing that they're being loved on by you. But that really, really does develop that sense of trust with your coaches. So those are my main tips for how to run a Rockstar team. And do you guys have any questions at all for me? No? I'm going to unmute us. Hold on a second. So if anybody has any questions, we have a couple of minutes if you guys want to ask anything.
I don't have any.
No? What about you, Lori?
Nope. I feel like I need to get more people to consider a team.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually felt like that, you know, too. And I remember when I first got on my first coach, which I believe
takes a half an hour to get there.
Comey, I want to say.
You have like all morning to poop.
And I feel like, hold on a second. 1 minute, 1 minute. So yeah, I was actually feeling when I brought on Comey that I didn't have like a team. And so I was feeling the same way. But really, if you think about it, like as soon as you bring on somebody, you do have a team. So even if they're a discount coach, they're still a team, and you still want to, you know, send them a welcome email. Okay, here's a huge tip. if somebody that you're talking to wants to become a coach in the beginning of, with the challenge pack, if they've told you, yeah, I want the discount, so I want to be a coach, that doesn't mean that automatically they want to be a discount coach only, okay? So you still want to make sure that you're sending out that welcome email and showing them the possibilities of the types of coaches, because they might not know and they might not see the possibilities that could happen in this business. So you want to get that wheel spinning on the possibilities, and you want to them to see like everything inside that welcome email, your welcome video, here's where you go for training. So you want them to get curious. You want them to be curious about what we do as a coach. And if you're sending that out, I guarantee even if they want to be a discount coach, they're still going to click on that training thing just because curiosity is going to get the best of them. It happens in all of us, right? So I remember when I just wanted to be a discount coach and Anita sent me the welcome to the team email. She had a little button that was really, really blue at the bottom. It said, click here if you want to find out more about running your own business and making six-figure income. And I was like, that would be nice. So I clicked on it and it opened up all of this possibility. And then that's when I was like, okay, you know what? I think I might want to think about this. So but yeah, you have a team. Jessica has a team, Christina has a team. We just want to make sure that we're keeping up with them, seeing how they're doing. If they're a discount coach, even if they're not a discount coach and they're running their business, we're all on our own transformation journey. And so we also have to keep in mind that they're still in their transformation. So you kind of have to balance out talking to them like they're a challenger and talking to them like they're a coach, because they're still going to need that support, as they're on the journey. So that's really, really important. And that's actually one thing that I have had to remind myself about too. I'm definitely not perfect with that. And so when I have a Rockstar coach and they're going, I have to remind myself, okay, they're still on their journey, so how are you doing with your shakes? How that kind of thing. So you want to make sure you have that balance.
Okay.
So hopefully that helps. But yeah, like I said, I'll definitely post all this stuff inside. I'll do it under a file so we can just access it easily. And I'll share with you guys, my tips and stuff in there on how I run, the team and what's worked, for me so far with bringing on coaches and training and all that kind of stuff. Because I feel like if we have all that at our fingertips, it's going to make it a lot easier for us to bring on new coaches. And if they bring on new coaches, they'll have a place to go, to follow the example. So, all right, you guys, good meeting. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate your time. And let's go kick butt.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you.
Make a difference in people's lives. You're welcome. All right, you guys. I'll talk with y'all soon. Bye.